What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Bigboyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I'll go my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button because I'm on the road to 4K. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Now let's get started. Now AEW Dynamite was a decent show, and I give it a 6 out of 10. All right, AEW will kick off the new year with the January 4th episode of AEW Dynamite. The company has been hyping up Wednesday's show with the tagline "New Year, New Dynamite." Chris Jericho will face Ricky Starks in a buzzworth match on the show, and Tony Nese will take on Bryan Danielson. Plus, the Acclaim will defend the AEW World Tag Team Champions against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Alright, so we get the first match card. Ricky Starks versus Chris Jericho. This match was pretty good for what it was. It was pretty good. Starks takes the fight to Jericho early on, forcing Jericho to lead the ring. The former FTW champion follows him out and keys up the attack. Jericho briefly takes control, but Starks counters his signature springboard dropkick. Jericho suplex Starks from the apron and down to the floor. Both men are down, but Jericho gets Starks back in the ring. The former world champion grounds Starks, but the fan favorite rallies and gets a 2 count with a Liger bomb. Starks counters the Lion Saw, and Jericho trade counters, and Starks wind up in the walls of Jericho. Angelo Parker distracts the referee, and Menard nails Starks with the baseball bat. Starks continues to preserve, and he pins Jericho with a spear. The winner of the match, Ricky Starks. This was a pretty good match right here. Pretty good match. Alright, the Jericho Appreciation Society attacked Ricky Starks after the match. Action Andre T tries to make the save, but the numbers overwhelm him. Jake Hager powerbomb Starks through a table. So we get the in-ring segment, Hangman Page. This was a pretty good segment. Page is asked whether he is clear to compete. He says he's not cleared today, but if he goes home and gets another brain scan, he could get cleared in time for next week. So he will be able to face Jon Moxley next week. Hangman vows to knock Moxley's you know what in the dirt. Moxley comes to the ring and says he's tired of all the sympathy for Page. He says he has to eat plates of crap, so he doesn't have any sympathy for Hangman. In fact, he tells Page his complaining makes him sick. Hangman counters by stating that he's been knocked out plenty of times, so he's not mad about that. Page says he's angry that Moxley nearly took his career from him, and then he made a joke about it. Hangman makes it clear that he's here for revenge, and he's going to get it next week. Moxley calls Page a punk, you know what, and says he's going to make sure Page stays down next week. Alright, so we get the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Acclaim, Max Caster, and Anthony Barnes, accompanied by Billy Gunn versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, accompanied by Sanjay Dutt and Stanham Sign. This was a solid tag team match right here. This tag team match was solid. Max Caster raps on his way to the ring and reference TNA and Dixie Carter. Jeff Jarrett slaps Caster in the mouth. Eddie Barnes controls the match early and maintains the advantage when Jay Lethal tags in. Max Caster tags in and uses the ankle lock. The Acclaim hits Scissor Me Timbers on Jeff Jarrett and scissors on Gunn. Jay Lethal punches Gunn at ringside. When Billy Gunn tries to get revenge, the referee ejects him from the ring. Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett isolates Anthony Barnes and keeps him grounded. Jeff Jarrett struck and continues to control the action along with Jay Lethal. Anthony Bounce dodges and elbow drops, but Jeff Jarrett prevents the hot tag. Anthony Bounce preserves and tags Matchcaster, who clears house with a fury of offense. Matchcaster takes the fight to Jeff Jarrett and continues to gain momentum. Jeff Jarrett breaks up a double team move and shoves Matchcaster off the top rope. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal plan Anthony Bounce with a double team move. Son slams Matchcaster into the steel steps. Son and Sanjay Dutt get ejected from a ring, and the numbers of referees come out to escort him. Anthony Bounce counters the lethal injection, but Jeff Jarrett hits the stroke. He gets the 3 count as Sanjay Dutt shoves Anthony Bounce's foot off the ropes. RB Evers reverse her decision, and then the match continues. Anthony Bounce rolls up Jay Lethal for the win. The winner of the match and still your AEW World Tag Team Champions, The Acclaim. That was a solid tag team match. In an interview, Britt Baker and Saraya has never understand what AEW means. Jamie Hayter says Saraya doesn't get what AEW means to her, and vice versa. Baker discussed their road to success. Baker points out that there are some great options within AEW Women's Division, so she doesn't understand why Saraya hasn't picked a partner yet. She calls herself the Pillar and Hater the Killer. Um, in an interview, I'm just gonna guess this right now that Mandy Rose is going to show up on AEW. That's just my prediction. Okay, in an interview, Jungle Boy discussed his feud with Big Bill and Lee Montelli and challenged them to a tag team match where he joins force with Hook. So okay, so next we get Brian Danielson versus Tony Nese, accompanied by Mark Sterling and Josh Woods. This match was quick. Brian Danielson gets a big pop from the Seattle crowd, and early distraction from Woods helps Tony Nese take control early on. Brian Danielson fires up with some chops and kicks. He takes Tony Nese down with an elbow strike. Brian Danielson drills Tony Nese with his signature running knee. He stomps on Tony Nese's head and makes him tap out to the regal stretch. The winner of the match, Brian Danielson. This match was quick. Um, Danielson gets a microphone and says, it's great to be home. He says he's ready for another fight. Brian Danielson calls out MJF, who come out and cause him brain damage. Brian, the AEW World Champion, says he doesn't get his rocks off by wrestling, as he doesn't care about the fans. MJF says he gets paid whether he wrestles or not. He then says Danielson is less charismatic than the hypothetical offspring of Lance Storm and Dean Malenko. He says Brian Danielson looks like a GOAT, but that doesn't mean he's the greatest of all time. MJF implies Brian Danielson's mom slept with a GOAT. Brian Danielson responds by saying that MJF's mom had enough human suitors to fill the whole arena. MJF counters by saying that fans who had never been in the business made him, whereas MJF himself has been put him over by Disco Inferno. Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff. Brian Danielson says he hates MJF and challenges him to a fight. MJF pumps the brakes and tells Danielson he needs to become the top contender to earn a title shot. MJF says he talked to Tony Khan and Danielson will have to wrestle and win every week until February 8th in order to get a title shot. Brian Danielson entirely turns him down, but he then changed his mind when MJF says he runs the company. Danielson names the stipulation of the title match, assuming he earns one. He says he's going to face MJF in a 60 Iron Man match. MJF accepts, and Danielson says he's going to e- expose expose MJF. He then says he's going to kick MJF's head in. Okay, a video that was a pretty good promo by Brian Danielson and MJF. A video package recapped the feud between Kip Sabian and Orange Cassidy ahead of their match at AEW Battle of the Belts. Alright, so we get Swerve Strickland with Mogul affiliates versus AR Fox. Now this was a this was a squash match. Strickland and Fox fill each other out. They trade fast-paced offense, and the two stars match each other steps for step. Fox takes control with a diving moonsault. He gets a 2 count with a corkscrew brainbuster. Um, the Mughal affiliates powerhouse interfere and Swerve capitalize with a stiff kick. Strickland gains the upper hand and grounds AR Fox. Swerve gets a 2 count with a flatliner. AR Fox catches Strickland with a cutter and hits another one. He nails a 450 splash for a 2 count. Strickland slams AR Fox onto the apron with a avalanche Death Valley driver and gets the 3 count with the sword sum. The winner of the match, Swerve Strickland. This match was squash. Okay. In an interview, Saraya was sitting with Tony Storm and Hikaru Shida, and she was asked about her mystery partner for next week. She says AEW has the best female roster in the world, and she then says her partner would be Storm. Shida is clearly unhappy about it. Okay, let's move on. The Guns come to the ring and a tombstone reading FTRIP on it. They honor their careers and look back on their downfall. They then claim that LTR can't work in any promotion, but they will never work in AEW again. Alright, let's move on. So we get Kira Hogan and Sky Blue versus Jay Cargill and Red Velvet. This match was garbage. This tag team match was garbage. Sky Blue takes the fight to Red Velvet early on. Jay Cargill tags in and overpowers Sky Blue. The TBS champion continues to maintain the advantage. Jay Cargill forcibly tags Red Velvet in as it cleared that they're not on the same page. Jay Cargill drills Kira Hogan and Sky Blue with big boots. Jay Cargill lays Kira Hogan out with a chokeslam. Kira Hogan rolls Jay Cargill up for a 2 count as Red Velvet walks out on her partner. Jay Cargill gets the win with a pump kick as Red Velvet walks away. The winner of the match, Jay Cargill. Jay Cargill. This match, this match was this tag team match was god awful. This was trash. All right, let's move on. Backstage, Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal were frustrated after their loss, and they vowed to beat the Acclaim on AEW Battle of the Belts. Alright, so we get the main event of the evening. So we get the TNT Championship, Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin. This main event was, was alright for what it was. This main event was fine for what it was. Darby Allin hugs Nick Wayne at ringside. Samoa Joe grabs Wayne by the throat during his entrance, prompting Darby Allin to take the fight to the champion. They brought up on the stage. Darby Allin dives off a ladder onto Samoa Joe and seemingly hurts his knee. The match briefly winds up in the ring before Samoa Joe and Darby Allin head back outside. Samoa Joe slams Darby Allin onto a steel steps. The champion grounds Darby Allin, who can barely walk once he gets some breathing room. Darby Allin briefly rallies, but Samoa Joe continues to viciously target Darby Allin's leg. Samoa Joe hits a double knee breaker, and Darby Allin is clearly in a agnog. Darby Allin counters a muscle buster and gets a 2 count with a pin attempt. The champion goes for the Gofudo clutch. Darby Allin escapes, but Samoa Joe traps him in a chokehold. Darby Allin hits a code red and nails the coffin drop. He hits another coffin drop for the win. The winner and your new TNT champion, Darby Allin. This main event match was fine for what it was, but the way that he won, there were confetti coming out, so that's all I gotta say. But AEW Dynamite goes up the air. But like I said it earlier, AEW Dynamite was a decent show, and I give it was a decent average show, and I give it a 6 out of 10. And Tino's Time predicted that Sting was finna turn on Darby Allin, but that didn't happen. Even though that Tino's Time called it, but it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Even though Darby Allin won the TNT Championship, but the confetti was coming down, but that doesn't mean anything. That's just my opinion. But anyway, AEW Dynamite was a decent average show, and I give it a 6 out of 10. But anyway, if you guys join my AEW Dynamite review and highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below on what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please hit that subscribe button. Turn on post notifications to get notified when I premiere a brand new video go live on YouTube. Follow my social media, my Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. Go check out my NXT, my WWE NXT review and highlights that I did on the channel yesterday. Go check that out. But anyway, this your boy Bigboyfactsjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. KFG crew, KFG Kings, Too Sweet. I'm out of here. Gang.